The afternoon faded slowly, painting the sky in damp gray, while Hermione Granger drove the small Muggle car along the narrow winding roads. Inside the vehicle, the silence was so thick Draco Malfoy could almost hear it breathing. She seemed lost in her thoughts, her thumb tapping the steering wheel, her lower lip caught between her teeth. Signs he had learned to recognize: worry, fear, or maybe guilt. Things Hermione rarely admitted out loud. When she finally spoke, her voice came out tense and scraped. Draco glanced at her from the corner of his eye, feeling that strange urge to ask what was haunting her. An equally strange urge not to seem concerned. The path to the Chalice Well Gardens forced them through tourists, candles, crystals, and mystical shops, the kind of environment that made Draco wrinkle his nose. Hermione looked at home. She always looked at home wherever there was mystery, knowledge, and danger. At the Red Well, Draco nearly scoffed at the Muggle plaques insisting on linking Morgan Le Fay to the Holy Grail. But the name Le Fay printed there stirred something inside him. Hermione explained calmly, and Draco realized, for the 1000th time, how she knew everything except her own emotions. In the White Well House, the air thick with incense and humidity made Hermione even more serious. Draco noticed the tiny tremor in her fingers as she touched one of the stone walls. It was a small gesture, but he saw it. He always saw. Then she led him toward the hidden path behind the building, where the half-buried metal disc marked the entrance to the Green Well. Under the disillusionment charm, they looked like two translucent blurs, but Draco could still feel the warmth of her body close to his, so close he nearly forgot they were invisible. When the cover trembled and collapsed, Hermione let out a sharp scream, and clutched Draco with such force that, for a second, he forgot the terror of the fall. His instinct was to hold her back, to shield her, as if his arms could soften the impact as much as the spell did. They landed on a bed of bioluminescent fungi, Hermione's breath warm and quick, her face only inches from his, illuminated by pulsing greens and blues. Draco felt something like a jolt, and stepped back too quickly. The narrow corridor that followed felt strangely intimate. Sometimes Hermione turned abruptly and almost bumped into him. Sometimes Draco walked too close without realizing it. The silence between them was no longer uncomfortable, it was charged. The large cavern opened before them like an ancient secret. Hermione kept her posture firm, but Draco caught the way she inhaled deeply before approaching the Guardians. He could swear she was afraid, though she would never admit it. He watched tensely as she offered grains, gold, and viscera. Draco wanted to pull her back, grip her shoulders, and say, "Stop this," but he knew she wouldn't listen. Hermione never listened when she believed she was right. When one of the Guardians smiled at him, that wide, inhuman smile, and remarked she would make soup out of his brain, Draco felt his stomach twist. Hermione, oblivious to the comment, filled the vial with glowing green water. Draco wanted to yell at her, wanted to drag her away, wanted her to look at him the way she looked at danger, with respect. On the way back, he exploded, and Hermione fought back, fiercely, with nerves raw and exposed, with a desperate honesty that revealed more vulnerability than she ever allowed on purpose. It wasn't until they reached the underground lift that fear finally won over word. Hermione trembled, lost her breath, and before she could collapse, Draco caught her, pulling her firmly into his arms. She rested her forehead against his chest, breathing fast. He didn't say anything, didn't know what to say, but his hand stayed on her, steady, until she calmed. When they emerged into daylight, Hermione attempted a joke. Draco tried to mock her, and together, silently, they left the panic buried below. In the car, Hermione admitted she wanted to visit an old library, and Draco, annoyingly honest with himself, realized he wanted to go too. The sneakoscope confirmed it. Hermione laughed. Draco turned red. Both pretended nothing had happened. The visit to Tinstersfield gave them a rare break. Hermione lost among ancient shelves, Draco hiding behind a poppy seed cake. And when the sun began to set, they walked together without hurry, talking about ancient magic, about dangers the Ministry didn't understand, and about each other, if only indirectly. And there, among crystals, candles, and distracted tourists, something subtle and unexplainable bloomed between them, not friendship, not yet, but a silent truce, an inevitable closeness, a spark that survived mysterious wells, ancestral hags, and whispered threats. A beginning, fragile, tense, almost forbidden, and as luminous as the glowing fungi that had lit the secret depths of the green well.